Go check on Louie. Make sure she has everything. I'm just momming. Go check on Louie. Make sure she has everything.
Hey there. Welcome to Momming on the Daily, Motivational Monday with
Kelly
and Marina. Tonight we're talking about let's just be nice.
I'm just so over it. Like, no one wants to be nice anymore. Nobody wants, you go in line. Nobody wants to let you in a line in a car. I'm like, oh, look at you. You're 2 cars ahead of me now. Whoopee. Like, what's the big deal? Why can't you let somebody out in a line? You know what I mean? Smile at somebody. Say hello to somebody. Like, everything is just. The saddest thing I heard yesterday was my daughter and one of her friends reconnected. They kind of lost touch. And her friend moved to Virginia, and she's like, I'm so quiet in class because they're so mean here, da da da. And then my daughter's saying, you won't believe how mean this one is and this one is, and they're talking about not nice things. They're talking about kids being mean. They're in 5th grade. 5th grade. They're not, I mean, granted, the conversation they talked for like an hour, but went on to other things. But I'm hearing them, like I'm doing laundry, hanging up, and I'm like, well, what are you guys talking about? They're like, well, how mean kids are at school. So I'm really quiet and shy because the kids are so mean. And I'm like, oh my, like, that's not what our 5th graders should be talking about.
Right. It's happening everywhere. It's kind of sad.
Yeah.
That this is what life's come to. This is how kids are growing up.
I don't know.
Can you imagine this generation coming up and the meanness that's along with it? What kind of adults and what kind of, they're going to care for us someday. That's even scarier.
Exactly. But I don't think there's any criteria anymore. Like, there's no, like, nobody cares. Like, nobody's respectful. I'm not going to, I go out in sweatpants, but I don't go out and wear my fuzzy pants, like my pajama pants to anywhere. Like, I mean, I might go drop my kids off at school, but I'm not planning on getting out of the car.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I don't even put you know what, when I even do that, I throw on a pair of sweatpants. I would prefer it still not to get out of the car, but at least I have something decent.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, but people show up and they're just like, like, I know maybe they are just at Walmart, but you don't come out in pajama shirt, pants, and slippers. And this isn't your house. This isn't your living room.
Right.
Have respect for yourself. I'm not saying you have to be perfect at all. I mean, I hate, I go out on some dates and we go out and I'll wear jeans, but at least I put on a nice shirt or a nice something and all. Like, I get mad, like, if not, I don't get mad, but I'm just like, and the person I date, like, he usually puts on like a collared shirt, just with a pair of jeans and stuff. Sometimes, like, if we're running or whatever, we're not that, if he's doing something beforehand, he doesn't always, but usually, he puts on a nice shirt. We try to clean up and look nice when you go out. I get mad when we go out to these nice restaurants and people show up, and he and I were just talking about it. We were out to dinner at a nice restaurant on Saturday. People are sitting there with ball caps on, baseball cap, in a really nice Italian restaurant. And like he said, if this was my place, I'd walk over and say, excuse me, you need, please take your hat off. And if they said no, I was like, well, then you can leave, please. Because there's just no respect. Why are they wearing baseball? Like, I don't mind coming, and I get it, but you're going out for, our dinner, our dinner was, $150. It ain't a cheap place for 2 people.
Right.
And so, with tip and all, it's 100, we paid, it was like $170, but that's what I'm saying. So we're not at like this, like, oh, like bar restaurant. We're at a nice restaurant. And people are coming in with t-shirts and I don't mind the jeans, but I do mind that they, don't come in with a muscle jean. Like, now it's summertime, but what I mean? But don't come, like, look nice, put on a shirt. How hard is it to put on a nice shirt and look decent? Have respect, but it's having respect for yourself.
Right. Exactly. And then having respect for others, respecting others. I was just watching one of, I was listening to a podcast greatness. What's his name? Something greatness. Why can't I remember it? And he has the Shormy on there, and he was saying today children aren't raised compassionately. It's who's going to be better at this, who's best at that, who has this, who has that. And I don't know if that's every household, but nowadays, when we went to school, hi Naveen, BN, welcome to the room. I don't know, when we were raised, it wasn't as bad as like name brands and certain outfits, and you had your certain few, but it was never a major thing. Where today, if you have the knockoff earbuds, you're not cool. If you don't have the top iPhone, you're not cool. If you're not wearing the right brands, if you're not, and I think that puts a lot of pressure on parents, one, and two, it causes a lot of lack of confidence and lack of about the one who doesn't have it and is being picked on. It's when we were kids, there were mean girls, but I think there's more than mean girls now. I don't even find boys, even when I traveled with the baseball tournaments with Matt, I mean, some of those boys were rough, and they were 12, and it was rough. And then the parents get mad at each other, and then the parents stop talking to each other. And it's like, if my parents had to get involved, it had to be something big. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Parents want to fight their kids' friends to make it. And I'm like, this isn't what life is about. We forgot our manners, as my grandmother used to say, mind your manners. My grandmother had a lot of, like, she drove me crazy at times, but she always had things that now I look back on and I'm like, gosh, grandma was right. Mind your manners. God don't make junk. She always had some little comment that, stuck with me, but it's just, we don't have manners.
No, we don't. We have zero manners and we have zero respect for each other and one another and ourselves. You mean like today? I mean, I was running around today. I had to go help my daughter back after school. And then we went up to soccer practice. I'm not dressed up like, I have a little black shirt, and then I have like this fuzzy warm jacket because it's cold. I have a pair of black leggings on and I put on a pair of sneakers. I'm not saying you have to look, but I'm at a school helping with art. I'm going to soccer practice. I'm not going out to a nice restaurant. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I said, like the baseball caps really irked us the other night. Like, they're in t-shirts and a baseball cap. And they're like, oh, I got the money to pay for it. What do I care? Like, who do you think I am? Like, but that's
Right.
not what it's about.
Hey,
and like you said,
my brothers couldn't even come to the table after baseball with their hats on. My father would say, get that hat off.
Yeah. It's, and like you said, like the knockoffs and whatnot. Like, I mean, I was like enough, I always dress nice and everything like that and all. But with people didn't have nobody commented, nobody said anything. But nowadays, like, well, kids are rude and in your face.
Yep. I saw a young girl. She had to been. I don't even think she was 13. Where were we? We were out. Carmine and I were out, probably at the market. She's carrying a Coach bag. She had these long earrings on, and I'm like, damn, what do we got to look forward to?
Yeah.
Like, we couldn't wait to grow up and work hard to get our first Coach bag or our first, our nice car. Go to the high school here and forget it. It's not like when we were growing up.
Oh my God. And well, everybody had the parents' hand-me-down cars.
That's right.
My first car was my mom's old Delta 88. That's what I took to college. I had
Yep.
my mom's, leftover car. It was her Delta 88. That was what I had.
I had an old Thunderbird,
Yeah.
one of those big, I used to call it the Dayliner, the big boat would be
Du-du-du.
rolling down the,
Yeah.
but hey, I had four wheels. It got me from point A to point
Would
B.
be. Hmm.
And it's what it happened, but nobody made fun of me or tore me apart because I was driving the old T-Bird.
No. Like,
Actually,
no.
we used to laugh at it when the lights got too hot. We'd be driving down the road and remember the front of the lights, they had the doors that went up.
Yeah, that came up.
Yeah. So as I'm driving down, if the lights got too warm one eye, it was like they were winking.
Like,
So we would laugh, it would be something funny that we would laugh about. But
well, and
it,
like, yeah, and so I had the Delta 88. Kristen, so we'd have Thursday night was a big night for us to go out in college, and Kristen's like, she's like, Cal, I'll drive. I'm like, but we took my car because literally I think we put like 12 people in the car. The back seat was so big, we're like, hurry up, Jenny. Can we fit one more? Oh yeah, sure, climb in. And they're like climbing across the thing. We're like, okay, how many do we have? We had like 4 people in the front. We had like,
that's the
I'm not
Thunderbird
kidding.
because it was the bench seats.
Exactly, remember? And there was all that space. We're like, okay, I'm sitting on the floor. It didn't matter. You all crawled in. And then the only reason I said that, Kristen, because I had the biggest car that we could pile in. But Kristen had, she was becoming a nurse. So she had, unfortunately, she had rotation. I forget what she had on Friday morning. But whatever she had Friday morning, she couldn't, she couldn't drink. So she's
Right.
like, she would go out with us and then she'd be like, all right, I got to get back. I have to at least get like 3 hours before I have to go take my stats or whatever she was going to go, whatever she had to go do. She had to get some sleep, but she just didn't want to be drunk. She couldn't be drunk. So she'd be like, okay, she would drive us all. She's like designated driver, take us all. Oh, I'm not kidding. I think we had like 12 people in that car.
Yeah. But it was
Crazy.
just, we have friends that their daughter turned 16, had the whole big shindig of Sweet 16. And then they bought her a car when she got her license and she didn't like that car.
And
she had her eyes on a different car. And they went and brought that car back and got the car she wanted because she had pitched such a fit.
Yeah, my father would have went, Doosh.
Yeah.
My father would be like, great, here's your bike. Enjoy. Bye-bye.
But you know what? I have to say I'm guilty. We are guilty. You always want your kids to have more better than you had. And we did that for a while until I noticed the attitude that my son, my older one, was getting. Like he was better than everybody else. And I was like, oh, we have to cut this off.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, you're only getting things on your birthday and holidays. And if you're going back, when you're going back to school and you need something new, or if you've got holes in your shoes, you will get it. But you're not getting everything every time you say, I want it. Done, finished, work for it.
Yeah.
And it was like shell shock. And last night he was here for dinner and he's like, Mom, remember when you cut us off? And I'm like, what? He's like, remember when you and Dad just like cut us off? And I'm like, yeah, because somebody was getting a little too big for his britches and he was not being nice to other people because he had. So the only way you're going to learn is when you don't have it anymore.
Yeah.
And I think that's a lot of it today because we've fallen into such a material world that we forgot about humanity. We forgot about each other and really caring. We care more about what we're wearing, what we're driving, what we're carrying, not who we're talking to, who might bump into at the market online. We've really lost touch with humanity.
Well,
Oh, I've lost you.
I said kids are really ugly and the parents support it. Like the parents are just as ugly.
I've noticed that too. Like I said, when I traveled with the travel team, like the parents would be like, what did he say? And like go after him. And I'm like, You're 50 and you're going after a 12-year-old? Are you kidding me?
Exactly.
And then I can't be a part of that.
No,
I
but
can't.
these parents are talking to children. Like you said, going after children. I'm like, you can't talk to other people. You can't talk to other people's children.
You can't walk away because we lose you. Like, you can't turn to the side because I lose your voice.
Oh, but I was just saying, like, you can't talk to other people's children. You want to talk to other adults? No, but it's not nice to find. It's mean.
I would never, and you know how many kids I've had in and out of my house. And Nick still jokes because there's only one that I kicked out of all the kids that have been in my house. One I've kicked out. But I would never talk nasty to them. I might joke with them and say, oh, listen, bud, you keep that up and you'll be sleeping out on the porch. You know, I used to tease them.
Yeah.
But I never would ever, ever, ever talk like that. I wouldn't even ever go after somebody else's kid.
But Maureen, it wasn't even that. But Maureen, it wasn't even that. It's how the kids would never talk to you that way. Kids.
No, never. Listen,
They
in this house, I had kids that went to jail. I had kids that went to rehab. I mean, I accepted every kid that walked in this house with my children, as long as they had mutual respect for us.
Mm-hmm.
If you respect me, my husband, our home, then I'll have no mutual respect for you. Because you know what? Everybody gets another second chance. I don't know why, you know, you might have screwed up and gone to jail. That's not my business. Like, you deserve a second chance. That's my always the way I looked at it. But if they respected me, there was this one kid that used to come here all the time. What a sweet kid. Then one day Nick goes to me, Mom, do you know what he does? And I'm like, no, what?
That's when I go like this. I don't want to know. That's when I say, I don't want to, don't tell me.
All right. And he was like, Mom. And I was like, Nick. And then he shared with what he does. And I'm like, oh my God, really? Like, I can't believe that. This sweet kid, he goes, yeah, Ma, he knows how to pull the wool over your eyes. I'm like, listen, he doesn't steal anything out of my home. He's not disrespectful. He's not rude. He says, please and thank you. He cleans his plate from the dinner table. Obviously, he was raised with manners somewhere. How he ended up on the path he was on is beyond me, but it's happened. And I always said we never, because Carmine's not that way either. And it's really strange considering how he was raised.
Mm. Well, I mean, he was born out with Italian parents.
Right. And they were very judgmental. My in-laws were very judgmental. But yeah, it's just really sad what we're walking in right now.
Well, I just, like you said, there's not.
You got to move over towards the
Oh,
screen.
sorry. Yeah, I mean, there's just not a common decency.
No. And what saddens me is, like, the other day we were watching on the news or on one of those channels, and we were always taught, if we rode the train, if an older person came on, or a pregnant mom, or a mom with a little child, if they came on the train, you had to get up and let them sit down.
Yeah, you give them your seat.
And this young girl did not think that she had any reason to get up and give up her seat for somebody, even though it was a little older person, you know, who was struggling to keep themselves up. And you know what it's like riding a train, standing. It's not always the most comfortable thing in the world, but she had
It's unsteady. It's like, it's wobbly. It's unsteady.
Yeah. And she got into a screaming match with this older woman because she didn't think she had to get up. And I'm like, what the hell? And my boys still know, you better open the door for somebody. You better hold the door for somebody. You better open the door for a girl in your car. I mean, they know.
But the thing is, like, you're right. But you know what?
Got to come back.
He didn't have to get up. That's the thing. Like, you know what I mean? And if somebody enforces it, then we're the bad.
Right. You're absolutely correct.
You do it out of respect.
Respect to somebody older. Well, we don't respect our elders anymore.
Well, we're never great about it in this country, but you're right. We don't.
In Europe, in Italy, you respect your elders. You could be 30 and you disrespect your elders. Your mother's whacking you across your head. Yeah, it's a whole new world. Let's just say that it's a whole new world.
Well, like you're saying, but the difference is that, like when you said that girl got into a fight, no, she doesn't even see it.
Nope, you got to put your head there.
Oh, she doesn't even see it. The sad part. You know what I mean? Like it's just the lack of, but it's a lack of respect for yourself. It's not just the others.
Right. It's just really sad. It's really frustrating. You look at the world in general. You know, our cousins in England, they have 7, 9, and 13-year-old. And the 9-year-old gets bullied horrible. Where he says he's sick every day because he doesn't want to go to school. You know, and it's horrible. So it's not just here. It's everywhere, right? You know, they get bullied, and even if you're a little different, you get bullied. I remember when I was a young girl in elementary school, my mother put my brother in one of those inclusion classes, you know, the smaller classes, because he had dyslexia. And this one kid used to pick on him horribly. And I would try to reason with him. Then finally one day I lost my cool. He was this big dude in 6th grade, right? And I just lost my cool. And Mr. Picio was our gym teacher then. And he was like, Chirico, what are you doing? Do you know how big he is? And I'm like, yeah, but I'm sick of him disrespecting not only my brother, but all the other kids in that inclusion classroom.
Yeah.
I said, and I asked him over and over and over again, please don't talk like that. Please stop it. Please stop it. And then finally, I just couldn't take it anymore. He goes, okay, I'll let you go. Because he got it. You know, I tried. And then finally, this guy just wouldn't give up. And it was horrible, you know, and I couldn't take it anymore. And even wherever I am, if there is somebody that's a little different than us, I'm kind of more gravitate towards them, because I don't want them to feel like they're different than us.
Yeah.
Because we're all different. None of us were made the same. If we were, we wouldn't like any of us. If we were all the same, we all made different for a reason.
Well, my kids always tell you what I say. They go, we know, Mom, their brain is different. We know, Mom, their brain works different. We know. That's all I do. I go, their brain, it just works different. Figure out how it works.
Right. What are you having for dinner?
Brownie, coffee, ice cream, and cranberries.
That sounds like a good dinner.
Cranberries is my vegetable. I have my protein.
Cranberries is a fruit, silly, not a vegetable.
Well, no, tonight it's a cranberry. It's a vegetable.
Okay.
And having, you're not listening, that's my vegetable. My protein is my ice cream. And my carbs is my brownie. Yeah. Well-mounted meal now.
Yesterday when I made the corned beef and cabbage, I made aged cheddar cheese biscuits to go with it.
That sounds good.
And I use this new flour. It's where they don't crack the kernel when they grind it, so that way the gluten doesn't come through. It's a little coarser, not as soft as an all-purpose flour.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, it didn't hurt my belly, so I can eat it. And I usually know like 15, 20 minutes, my belly will like bloat and be really painful. And didn't bother me. The gluten didn't bother me because it didn't come out.
Wow. Yeah, that didn't bother me either. Brownie, coffee ice cream, cranberries, delicious. Didn't bother me at all.
I love coffee ice cream. Well, Mateo's supposed to have his wisdom teeth out tomorrow, and he stopped at Stewart's to get his ice cream.
What flavors?
And I don't know. He just put them in the freezer, and I didn't even pay attention, but he said he was going to go shopping for what he needed. Well, we're supposed to have a nor'easter tomorrow.
I know. Is it still raining?
It's still raining. But I just lit the fireplace because it'll take the chill out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just lit that.
I was supposed to go walking. I couldn't motivate myself. It's not like cold here. I mean, then I got out of the car and Lenita had to go to the bathroom, and I'm like, oh, it's kind of nice. I should have got out, but I just had like a chill all day because we had like a breeze, and then I just couldn't get warm.
It's going to be windy tonight, 40 miles an hour, they say.
Wow.
But on the note of being nice, let's be nice. Let's talk about the nice side of it, not the mean side of it. Let's talk about what we can do to make people feel welcome. Or I just like smiling at people when I walk into a grocery store, or when I walk into, today I took my mom took her to the Rite Aid.
Yeah.
To get a couple of things. And when I walk in, I just smile at people. Just and say hello. I don't have to have a conversation with you. I'm like,
exactly, but you acknowledge them.
Right.
And so many people don't even acknowledge people.
Just be kind. Hold the door.
They make fun of me. I say hi to everybody. Like, Mom, don't. Like, Mom, we want to leave. Mom, don't talk. And then the next thing you know, I was at the CVS. This woman's telling me things. I was like, oh, okay. Like, I don't need to know about your ex's, like, ex, whatever. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm gonna go. And then we're like, then my kids and I, like, another time we were at JCPenney's Portraits, and we're gonna, this woman's telling me like why she left, and her boyfriend was, was hurting her, and I'm like, okay, good luck with that. I'm gonna go. I'm like, why are you all telling me these things? It doesn't say therapy.
Well, it's because you acknowledge them and you're there. Like my kids always said, Mom, when we go to the market in the checkout line, you know that whole person's life before you pay the cashier.
Mm-hmm.
The person that's standing behind you. And I like when I go up to the cashier, I always read their name tag. And I'll say, hey, Mary, how are you? Are you having a great day? How many hours do you have left? Yeah. And I have a conversation to acknowledge them. I've watched people walk through on their cell phones and never acknowledge the person at the register.
Oh, please. They go to dinner. They don't even acknowledge the date they're on or the person they're with.
Oh, dinner. I know. Hey, Dane, welcome. I know. But let's just be kind. Let's just be kind. Acknowledge people, hold the door. You don't have to buy them coffee if you choose to, and that comes across that you want to do that, then by all means, but hold the door. Yeah, one of the teachers at school said that she had to pay it forward. She goes up and they're like, oh, the car in front of you paid for you, and so then she goes, okay, I'll pay for the next one. Like, and she was, it was funny. She wondered how long it would go. Yeah, I mean, if it comes across that you want to do that, then by all means do it. But just say hello, acknowledge people, be kind. This woman had the most beautiful hair the other day coming out of the post office. And I was like, your hair is awesome. And she was like, just like looked at me kind of stunned. And then she was like, oh, thanks. But her hair was gorgeous. The color, it was just beautiful, right? But acknowledge those things in people because one, we don't know what people are walking through. Mm-hmm. And a hello, a hold the door, a kind gesture just makes their day a better day. And you know what? When I'm in a crappy day and I treat somebody nice, I feel better. It lifts my spirits. So just be nice. My grandma used to always say, you get more with honey than you do with vinegar.
Wash your stuff. Sorry.
So
No, absolutely. I mean, like with the vinegar and the honey, and you do get further, and it's hard. It is hard. Um, but I'm working on it hard. I'm working on it with my kids more. It's fine. I'm like, okay, let's find the good in this. I'm finding the good. Like I saw like where I go, my daughter, they play soccer. It's 45 minutes away, a little over that, but 45 minutes. They just moved the seal. It's 25 now. So I'm like, oh, it's over 5, it's over an hour away now. So I saw the director today. He's like, how's it going? I'm like, good. What I said, I'm like, I'm just thankful we all have fields. It's a little farther, so it's a little harder to get here. I'm thankful we have fields. I'm like, find the good, find the good. What's the point of complaining? He's heard 4,000 people complain already. I'm just thankful we have fields.
exactly. And also, you know what? We're all going through something, whether it's as big as what you're going through, and you may not even know. So extending that hello, that smile, that gratefulness, being polite, giving up your seat for an older person to sit down on the train or whatever it may be.
I mean, when I was pregnant, I was 14 and 11, and I was in New York City with Maddie, more women would get up than men immediately. And then after the woman's already gotten up or gestured to get up or whatever, then the men were like, oh, like, I'm like, how'd you not notice? I'm like, I'm like, "Whoom." I'm like,
Right.
really? And me and the woman, like the woman would, you would purposely take the woman's seat because you wanted to make the guy feel like a jerk. Because he didn't even offer. Like, are you kidding me? So, and I have a hard time because I always talk about, and it's true, I want to be treated the same. I think it's equality and everything like that. There's a difference of respect of a woman and having a baby, blah, 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 than there is like to give up your seat. It has nothing to do with men or women. I'm like, I'm sorry, are you carrying a basketball? Are you carrying, an extra 20 pounds right now? Are you carrying a little person inside you? No, you're not. You have no idea what it's like. So get up, move.
Right. Or for an older person, when we're away and we take public transportation in our town, I always get up and let the older people, regardless if it's an older man or an older woman, I'll stand and I'll let them sit.
Yeah.
But I find in Europe, it happens more frequently where the younger people get up and they give up their seat for the older people, or they even carry the groceries off the bus for them and then put them in their carts when they open their carts back up, those kind of things. So, it's just, it's just small things. You don't have to do these grandiose things for people. It's just being kind, a hello, a smile. Like this lady, I'm at the market and my cart at the market, it's full.
Yes.
Right. This lady's behind me with, I think she had a milk, a dozen eggs, and she had some pastries in her hand. I'm like, go ahead of me. She's like, no, you were here first. I'm going to be here for a bit. I don't care. You know what I mean? Go ahead of me. You only have 3 items. Yeah. Oh, are you sure? Absolutely. When she left, she's like, thank you so much for letting me go. It's just something as little as letting somebody with 3 items go against you go ahead of you when you have a full cart, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm going to be here anyway. I have to pack these groceries. So go ahead of me. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't have a problem with it. If I was in a rush, I wouldn't have bought all these groceries. So obviously I'm not in a rush. So go ahead. And it's like, some people are taken back like, oh my gosh, you did that? You let me go ahead of you? It's like, to me, I feel like it's like the right thing to do.
Why is it questioned? And why, you know what I'm saying? Like my whole thing is like, why is it questioned?
I don't know. It's because I guess people aren't used to it. And it's hard to receive kindness when you're not used to getting it. Hello, hobo chilling. How are you? Welcome. if anybody has anything to add, chime in. We'd love to hear from you. Yeah.
You know, like, yeah, I mean, I have to be honest, like, I've been the one to receive oh, you know, I have like two things, and I've had people say that to me, go ahead and all, and I've been like you, the one saying, oh, go in front of me, like, that's stupid, like, you have three things, like, go, you know what I mean? I have like 20, you know, and stuff like that. And the thing that makes me sad is that it's so surprising and not just expected. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not saying like in an arrogance way of expected, but I'm saying it in a kind way. Like, you see an older person, you help them out. You see a younger person, you help them out. I mean, you just do kind things.
Right. Yeah. There was a viral video. I don't know if you saw it or not, going around. I can send it to you, where the father had his little, I think it was 16-month-old at the airport. And if you've traveled with little ones, you understand when your flights get delayed and they're
Oh,
cranky. And this older
oh,
gentleman was sitting there and called him over to sit next to him and opened up his tablet, and they were drawing on it, and they were, for the whole hour and a half delay, this older man kept this little one
entertained.
occupied on
Yeah,
his
entertained.
tablet. And it was like they never met each other, but when they left, they were best friends, right? That's what life should be.
Hmm. Little things like that make a
Little
huge
things like
difference.
that. Opening your door for someone, opening the door for someone.
Well, I have to say, it was right before I think COVID hit and stuff like that, but my, it was me, my mom, and the girls, and we were at Home Depot, Lowe's, and they were trying to put something. They were like two old couples, or definitely one. I can't remember exactly. And all, and they're trying to get in, and I'm like, are you kidding me? I literally, and we're in, you know, you go like this in front of Home Depot. One's going this way, you know, like that little
Right.
alley, right? Right. I literally stop my car, get out, go behind me. I'm watching because I'm saying, I go over there and whatever it is, I picked it in, put it in, picked it up, put it in, put it in. And they're like, I go get in the car, just get in the car by the time. And like, they're old people. I'm like, go get in the car. You'll be fine. Go get in the car. I'm like, it'll take you a long time to get in the car. Just go in the car. They get in the car. Like, oh my God, thank you so much. You're our savior, blah, blah, blah. Because they had like four things of paint. And they're like, oh,
Right.
okay, gotta do it, gotta do it. You're good. You know. And they were like, they thought it was the greatest thing since sliced bread. I'm like, I didn't do anything, you know?
Right. Just
Like,
helped.
yeah.
Just helping, listening, being courteous.
Hmm.
That's what it's about. It's truly about the
Well,
meanness, you know. And I notice, you know, because, you know, I'm on social media and I do a lot of this just
yeah.
homework kind of stuff, right? Listening to podcasts, seeing what's out there. And there are people that are horrible, what they write in the comment sections of some of these posts. And it's like, are these people for real? Like, I actually said to my sons, I'm like, are these bots or are these real people? And they're like, no, mom, they're real people. He said, the real people are the ones that are right. And it's like, how do you go to sleep at night after you left a message like that on somebody's page?
Exactly.
My thought process is, if you don't like it, scroll on by. Just keep on going. You don't have to stop and leave something. Oh, you'd be better if you were dead. Who says that? I'm like, I get blown away every time I see something like that. It's like, just scroll on by. If you don't like what somebody's
That's what I
wearing
mean.
in the market. Now, I've been to the Walmart and I've seen some people wearing some crazy outfits.
Oh my
I
God,
don't
right?
say something to them. It's like, that's just
I
them.
told you,
It
we
is
went to a
what it is.
restaurant here and it just doesn't matter.
It's like, it's nuts. It's nuts. So the moral of the story tonight, friends, is be kind.
Yes.
Hold the door. Say hello. Tell somebody they look nice. If you
Keep
feel
it
you want to
custom.
buy him a coffee, get him a coffee. If you don't want to, then just move on. But if you don't like something, just walk on by.
Yeah. Be kind.
Scroll past it
Be
if you're on
kind.
the internet. Let's just be kind. I mean, honestly, I do feel that after the lockdown, things got worse.
I agree.
And it's really sad because it was something we all went through together, a whole world.
Yeah.
You would think that would come out of it nicer, but it doesn't feel that way. So let us be the change. Be kind.
Yep.
Do something nice for someone.
Oh, my kids last week I had 8th grade class for a week, and I told they had missions. Go home and shock somebody with your kindness. And I had 2 different moms because I saw them in other places. They're like, yeah, I didn't. We were talking. They're like, oh, how's it going? It was like anything new or she goes, she cleaned the whole bathroom. I didn't even have to ask her. I'm like, I was like, you did your mission. And then another one, like she fed all the animals on their little farm. She goes without being asked and stuff. And I said, that makes a big difference.
It does. Because we never know what somebody's going through. We don't know if they're home taking care of a sick spouse or a sick child. We don't know, maybe they're sick. And you don't know if they're going through something financially. You don't know if they're going through something in a relationship. They just lost their job, whatever the case may be. We don't know. And just a kind gesture can change someone's day. And I know we've heard that a million times, but once you live and practice that life, it's something that you don't even have to think about. You just do it.
Yeah.
You just do it. And it's not like you're getting a badge of honor. It has nothing to do with it. It's just being kind.
Correct.
We were not born here to be on this earth to be mean and nasty to each other. We were born here to be kind.
Yeah.
Respect, get along. And that's the moral of tonight's story. Just be kind.
Be kind. How hard?
Change a life. Smile. Tell somebody they look good.
Big on compliments. And it could be anything. Pretty earrings. Your hair looks good. Like your shirt. Nice shoes.
The other day I forgot because I don't wear perfume all the time because it sometimes gives me a headache.
Yeah.
And I went out with all my cousins, my girl cousins, like the whole group of us go out once every couple of months. And I had put some on and I ran in to just ran in to grab a loaf of bread at the deli. And the girl was like, man, you smell good. And I'm like, huh? Because I don't even remember wearing it. I'm like,
putting it on, yeah.
She goes, oh, you smell so good. And I'm like, oh, thanks. I said, I don't even know what I'm wearing. I said, but thank you. She goes, well, it smells better than deli meat. She said,
smells better than deli meat. That's hilarious.
But I was like, huh? I completely forgot because it's something I don't wear every day.
Sure.
Because it could give me a headache if I wear it too often. But being that I went out and as soon as I walked in, gee, you smell good. I was like, oh, that makes you feel good.
Yeah, it does.
It makes you feel good. So be kind.
Make somebody else feel good. Oh, make you will feel good from that. It will be contagious.
It is contagious. You're right. Because if I'm feeling crappy and I'm in a mood and I'm nice to somebody, I feel better. It brings me right out of it.
Yeah.
We're not perfect at it. It's just something that you have to train yourself. Was that what you would say? No.
Train your brain?
Maybe. Why? We should just be kind, period. Period. Don't be mean.
No. All right.
Okay. Have a blessed night. Thank you for hanging with us.
Ring the bell. Tap the bell.
Oh, wait.
What do we do with the bell?
If you're on YouTube, like, subscribe, and
hit the bell.
Hit the bell. Have a blessed night, all. Thanks for hanging with us. Take care. See you on Wednesday.
Night.